Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Find Ways to Win. My name is Fitzgerald Stevens. I hope everyone is looking good, doing good, and feeling good. Wow, man. So tomorrow is the middle of the week, hump day, as some would say. I just never get used to the fact how fast time is going in my life, and in other people's lives too. It's just staggering, which is all the more reasons to be urgent about doing something with it. So, I want to talk to you briefly about a subject that popped in my spirit. It's called Your Problem or Your Purpose. You decide. Your problem or your purpose. You decide. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all it is a decision. And you can tell what decision you're really making and what you're really doing. The fact that your feet are moving in that direction. Your mouth is speaking in that direction. Your mind and your heart is focused in that direction. Listen, we do have a choice. We do have a choice. We could talk the problem, or we could talk our purpose. We could talk a problem, or we can talk our purpose. I much rather talk the purpose. I find that the purpose of what I'm doing and how I'm spending my time and what I'm focused on literally gives me energy, it's like a life force, that propels me forward. It gives me something to hope for. It gives me something to keep reaching for. Whereas the problem is like a life drainer. It just takes energy from me. It just takes the spirit of me. It takes the will to fight. Or after a while, if you just constantly keep focusing on that, it can throw you into depression. It can put you in a mode that all you see is other problems. And guess what? You're going to beget other problems. Or if you see your purpose, you're going to move perpetually towards that, and you're going to attract things in your life to support the purpose. Purpose brings provision. Purpose brings provision. So you always got to look at, what can I do? What can I think? How can I meditate on my purpose? What in order to propel me forward? That's another thing. Purpose propels. Purpose is like a slingshot, that can really accelerate time and get you to a place and a mind frame that you can even pass what you envision yourself to be. So, well, how do we look at getting on a purpose? Well, first of all, we got to know exactly this what we want. That's one of the pivotal keys to success, if not the pivotal key to success. You have to know exactly what you want. What is your purpose for here? People will say, "Well, I really don't know, Fitzgerald." Okay, what would you do? What would you do if you could do it for free? Are you drawn towards speaking? Are you drawn towards writing books, or are you drawn towards helping people, helping children, or teaching? Are you drawn towards opening businesses? Are you drawn towards really controlling your own destiny, your own time? Are you drawn towards traveling? Is it something that's real easy for you? Is it something that doesn't feel like work for you? Are you drawn for eliminating poverty? Are you drawn for helping the needy, or just building stuff? Ladies and gentlemen, if that's your purpose, you don't need a alarm clock for. You don't need energy to get out of bed and start doing it. Your problem. Your problem makes you want to lay there. Your problem, you're going to need a caffeine boost, a Red Bull boost, or any of your nicotine or stimulant of choice. You're going to need something to get you to face that problem, because you know what? You really don't want to deal with it. But you must deal with the problems in order to get to your purpose. It's really no other way around that. So if we're sitting around here thinking about our problems or our purpose, it's going to determine the direction of our lives. It literally is. There's no getting around that. You have to be focused, and you have to be centered on one or the other. You can't be centered on both of them, because if you try to divide your focus, and you're focusing on your problem one day, and you're focused on your solution one day, and you're focusing on your purpose, you're just going to divide your energies. And a double-minded man it can't stand. It's impossible for you to achieve anything when your forces are divided, when your heart, your energy, your strength, and your mental resources and your physical resources are divided. Pick a lane. I remember when I used to own my business, and I had a client that would come by and let me do some work for him, and he made this word to me, simple but yet a powerful verse, a powerful statement rather. He said, Fitzgerald, I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. He used to sell cars, and that's what he did. He wasn't interested in doing a whole lot of other things. He wasn't the man that saw a lot of different things he had his hands in. He focused on one thing, that was moving cars, and he was very, very successful at selling those cars. Extremely successful. My job was to go in and get them ready for sale, to do the repairs on them and do the necessary work where he can find a prospective buyer. But those words have stuck with me almost going on 20 years later. Fitzgerald, I stay in my lane. What is your lane, ladies and gentlemen? What is your lane? What lane are you staying in? Are you looking at your purpose, and it just drives you? It gives you a clear track to run on, to fly on, to speed on, to walk on, and it gives you a clear focus. You don't see anything except that purpose and walking towards the finish line of that goal or what it expects to achieve you. Or do you see a problem? A problem is like traveling on the road, and you're on the highway, you know where you're going. All of a sudden, you're looking at side exits, and you're taking every side street, and you sit around and you stop at a restaurant, and you decide to stay there a couple of hours, and you get back and you pull over another rest stop, and you decide to go to sleep, and you get out and you just talk on the cell phone, and you just do a lot of stuff that detract you from your purpose. So you're not going to achieve your purpose like that. Often I go to the gym, and lately I've really been noticing something. I didn't notice this back about 30 years ago when I was working out, but I'm noticing something now. As I go into the gym, before I get ready to go, I have my bag and have my water and everything, and I know what I'm going to do. I've already got myself mentally focused. I know what body part I'm going to work out. I know what techniques I'm going to use to achieve that. And one thing I do, I put my keys and my cell phone in the gym bag, and take out my workout gloves and get ready to go to work. I can't tell you how many times I see people working out, male and females, and they're just literally sitting on equipment. Sometimes I actually want to use that equipment, and they're just playing with their phone. They just have their phones just going and looking and just doing things. In my mind, hey, I'm wondering why are you there? I mean, are you there to be seen, or are you there to build your body and your mind and your spirit? Why did you come here? And you're just going to sit on a bench, and just and try to look pretty like you're doing something. You're sitting on there just looking at your cell phone all the time. And I'm talking constantly. I see this, so, and that's taken away far as from what their purpose they came to the gym. I assume they came to the gym because they want to get their body in shape. They want to get their body definition or sculpted or whatever they're trying to do. I don't see how sitting on a machine or sitting on the bench looking at the cell phone, I don't see how that helps you push the weight. I just don't, and I really don't. So what I do, I just put mine in the bag because I'm not concerned about taking calls, and I'm not concerned about looking at that, because I know I'm going to need enough of my energy and my strength to go ahead and hit that steel and reach my goal of what I'm trying to do with my body. So is it with any purpose. You're going to have an opportunity to have the distractions. Just don't take them. Because the more you take those distractions, the more you decide you want to park there, the further away it's gonna keep you from realizing your purpose. When you're going after your purpose, you have got to relentlessly focus on that. You have got to relentlessly work on that. You have to relentlessly pursue it. One of my favorite animals to make an analogy with is the gray wolf. And the gray wolf is an interesting animal. Usually they hunt in packs, and I love the persistence of when they are tracking the prey, and especially they feel that if that prey is wounded, or that prey, even that prey is at a maximum strength, they're not very fast, but far as with the on the long run. But the thing I like about the gray wolves is they're just persistent. They just keep coming after that prey. They just keep coming. That prey is easily may be able to outrun them at times. Sometimes may even be stronger than one or two of them. But that's not the issue. The gray wolf wears down his opponent by his persistence. He never gives his opponent or his prey a chance to rest, because he's constantly in motion. His endurance is off the chart, and he doesn't expel a lot of energy when he's doing it. He just does a nice little steady pace, but he keeps coming. He keeps coming. He keeps coming. Eventually that prey, starts to slow down, because he's getting tired. He's getting hungry. He's getting sleep deprived, because this wolf is these wolves are still coming after him. Eventually he decides he's going to rest a little bit, and next thing he knows, that the gray wolf is all over him, devouring him. That's what your problems have a potential to do to your purpose. They are going to keep coming if you don't put distance in between them and your purpose. And how do you put distance in between them and your purpose? You make sure that you're on your grind so much that you're on your purpose, and you're so focused with that you don't even see problems. You're putting so much distance between that you don't even recognize they're there, or if they're there, that you become so much larger to them. You so much larger than your problems, that they're more of a nuisance or anything, instead of insurmountable obstacles. So how do you get there? You got to get stronger. You got to get mentally stronger. Sometimes you got to get physically stronger. What I mean by physically stronger, you know what? Sometimes when sometimes when you're really working on your purpose, you're really on your grind. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to be able to stay up late. You're going to be able to get up early in the morning. You're going to be able to be disciplined. Sometimes going out to the bars and drinking, or even doing a lot of other things, it's just not going to be for you. Sitting around, watching 3 and 4 hours of Netflix and the television programs, and listening to music, and it's not going to be for you. Are those things good? Yeah, in moderation. But remember, never spend more time on non-essential things that doesn't contribute to your purpose, because if you do, you're going to lose sight of your purpose. But anyway, remember, the time is still going. The clock is still running. And that's what you want to be aware of. The clock is still running, even if you are not. Even if you are not, time is still moving. Even if you are not, and you have to be able to compress the time. You have to be able to get more out of the day. You have to be able to get to your purpose faster and quicker than what you normally think it would take, and that's going to require massive action. You've heard me use that statement so much. Taking massive action. It is so true. And actually, I learned that by studying Grant Cardone. Just talking about massive action. He just kept talking about that. And the man does that. And you, when you start taking massive action towards your purpose, you don't feel lucky. You don't feel that someone just gave you something. You don't feel like, that all of a sudden boom, stuff just appeared out of nowhere, because deep down in your heart, there's a sense of pride, and there's a sense of accomplishment. Why? Because you know that you put in the work. See, the purpose and the purpose realized once you know that you have put in the work and you have done what it takes to win, and you're still doing what it takes to maintain, that gives you a sense of accomplishment. It's a reason why so many people who come into great fortunes or great success often lose it, because if you study back, they wasn't prepared for it in the first place. They didn't hustle. They wasn't taught the principle. It was given to them through an inheritance, through a trust fund, or through a lottery ticket, or through even a big sports contract. But if they don't have it up here, if they never had to build up and focus on what does it take to make wealth, and what does it take to keep wealth, and more importantly, what does it take to multiply wealth? They haven't learned these skills. It's a little wonder it goes away from them. Sometimes even faster than what it took for them to accumulate it. How many of us have heard of music stars or sports stars or television stars? All of a sudden they have this huge entourage, and they're going in places, and they call themselves making it rain, and they have about 15 cars. And I'm not talking about RAV4s or Chevy Blazers. I'm talking cars, Bentleys, Ferraris, high-end Mercedes and things like that, paying all that car insurance, 2 and 3 houses and stuff. They're buying their boys a house, their family and friends' house and stuff like that. It's a little wonder that they're broke in a couple of years, because they haven't developed the skills and necessary to do. They just say, like, I just got this money supply, and I'm just going to write the check. Or you hear about them complaining sometimes, talking about, well, this accountant stole my money, or I was cheated out of my funds. Well, that's simple. Learn more about your money than someone else. It's your money. It's up to you to learn those rules. I already have a plan once I come into a great amount of wealth, and I will. First of all, I'm going to keep quiet. The second of all, I'm gonna give myself a financial education. I may even get a degree in taxes and stuff, because you know what, I'm a firm believer. No one should know more about my money than me. I'm going to write my own checks. I'm not going to be moved emotionally. I have a heart that I like to give to people, and I can't stand to see people in need and things like that. Oh, I'm still going to keep that, but I'm probably going to have about 2 or 3 buffers in front of me. The people who have the ability to say no, whereas I won't, and they have that ability. You have to go see them. I'm going to have certain limits. I'm going to decide what charities I give to, and I'm going to decide. I'm going to have a giving account with a certain amount of money. Once you reach that, that's pretty much it until the next quarter. The next time I seem to have it of necessity, I want to learn how to live on my interests. I want to have my money grow. I want to create mighty streams of residual income, and that's my plan. That's my focus. I want to be able to travel, and I want to be able to live a very, very quiet, assuming life. Not anything so flashy, although I like nice things, but I just want to be a person, that is informal, inconspicuous, not really seen out there, and just making my way, and making my money work for me. Well, that's one of the things I have worked in my purpose. Another thing is, the older I get, the healthier I want to get. I want to take care of it. There's a lot of news going on, and a lot of conversation going on about taking care of mental health. And I personally think it's way overdue. I think these conversations should have been had, but we see a lot of people breaking down, and we see people who are not being able to handle all that stress. Listen, it's nothing wrong that you're feeling overwhelmed, to go pick up the phone and ask for help. It's nothing wrong, the check on a friend. It's nothing wrong to admit that you are tired, that you are feeling overwhelmed, and seek help. I used to have this fallacy, that if I was getting overwhelmed, I just suck it up and deal with it. Why? Because I came from an environment that's what we was taught. Men deal with it, just suck it up and gird it out. Sometimes you don't know how to suck it up. Sometimes you're literally breaking inside, and you don't know how to stop the breaking, and you're putting on this facade and everything. But you know what? For those people who know you, and those people who are close in proximity, they know when something's wrong. They know when you're angry more so than what you normally would be, or you stop loving the things that you used to love and doing the things you used to do, or you stop communicating, or you spend vast amounts of time by yourself, or you always drop back to that key phrase, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay, and they know when your smile is not authentic. And so you can't fool the people who are really close to you, or even and that includes employers, because sometimes employers can look at you, and they can, especially like a manager, and if they see that something's changed in you, maybe your productions fell off, and maybe you're coming in a little later than what you normally do. You're not as sharp. You don't have that fire. You don't have that energy. What you used to have in your coaster. They know something's going on. But here's another thing, that it used to be where there was a stigma actually going in and say like, hey, well, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need to take some time off, because literally they would fire your butt. You would get a bad reputation, for someone who cut it. It's who could not cut it, especially if you was dealing with some of these high end sales. And I've been in sales for like close to 25 years of my life. They love to use this thing that you got a rock star. Rock star is a person who's a really top producer. But let me tell you something. It's a cost for being a top producer. It is a cost, because in life, as my father taught me, it's not what you get. Anyone can get something. Can you keep it, son? Can you keep it? Daddy drilled that in my head. Can you keep it? And that's the thing. And we're finding a lot of people can't keep it. Unfortunately, one of the biggest losses of a human being that really bothered me, really upset me, because I thought the man was fine. What was when we lost Robin Williams. Man, I was a huge Robin Williams fan, and just loved the man. He just had a gift for making everyone laugh. He just always had this beautiful smile on his face, and he was showable. He just spontaneity. The man was a comedic genius. He really was. And it's so much so that nobody thought he was in trouble. No one thought he was in trouble until we're reading on CNN that he took his life. Saying, in many of our great successful people, and even our lesser known people have done this. And you're wondering what happened. What happened? Well, if you take a look at it and if you think back, the signs were there. I saw a comic book strip one time by Charles Soule in the Peanuts, the Snoopy characters, and Snoopy was laying on top of his doghouse, and he was giving out psychiatric advice for 5 cents, and and he had this line of people coming up and seeing it, and at the end of the strip, he said this: who encourages the encourager? Who encourages the encourager? You have got to face your problems before you get to your purpose, because your problems are going to be part of your purpose. It is actually a key component. It's like day and night. It's like heads and tail. It's like yin and yang. There are two sides. There are two sides of the same dimension. They really are. And you can't. And I submit to you, you can't really have one without the other. You really can't. Because your problems are either gonna keep you from your purpose, or they're gonna propel you in your purpose. Now, in order to be the person that you decide to be, in order to have the purpose that you decided you want, you're going to have to face the problem first. Oh, and I like to think that maybe you think you have to eliminate the problem. Sometimes you're going to come back to the problem again and again, just in different forms and everything. But you have to learn how to use the problem to propel you to your purpose. You got to get strength. There's a difference between running from something and retreating from something. There's a difference from being afraid to face for something, but drawing back until you can muster more strength to go after, to destroy it. There is a big difference, because your purpose should propel you. And let me tell you something. If you allow your problem to take away your purpose, you will always regret that until they put you in the ground. That's cold, hard language, but it is truth. If you give up your purpose, something that's really in your heart, maybe some of you've had it since you were a child, or since you were very young, you always felt that way. But if you allow your problems, or you allow life, if you surrender your purpose to your problems, you will never be at peace with yourself. You will never. I mean, and I'm here to tell you, it's never too late to start working on your purpose. You know, I mean, how many of us have seen on a Facebook or LinkedIn or you know, or any other social platform? How many of us seen like 70 and 60, 80-year-old people getting their high school diploma, their college degree? How many of us have seen people becoming an author or dancer or airplane mechanic or something they love to do? You know, and they're in the twilight of their lives, or you know, or you know, and they're doing what they really love to do. You ever take time to really look at their faces? You ever take time to really study the expression on their face? Because it brings sheer joy to them. They are doing what they set out to do. It's never too late to start. Don't think it's past your time. Now, I'm not going to say you can go out and be an athlete, you know, at 50, 60 years old, you know, but there are some people who are doing it. There are some people running marathons 80 years old. I seen this female bodybuilder, a beautiful black lady with somewhere in her 80s, and she's out there doing competitive bodybuilding, just, you know, incredible shape. You know, so who am I to say at 56 what I can't accomplish? As long as you're above ground, it's a good day. It truly is. You know, there are people out there somewhere in this world, they wish they had your set of problems. They would gladly trade with you. And so be about your purpose. Focus on your purpose. Your purpose is what it gives you life. Your purpose is your life force. You know, never, ever, ever, ever surrender your purpose to anyone or anything. Never surrender to a person. Never surrender your purpose for relationships, anything. Never. Because if you do, it's possible you're going to lose both. I kid you not. If you surrender your purpose for a purpose, you will lose both. You know, no doubt about it. And you know, and you will be displeased with yourself. But if you hold on to your purpose, you make your purpose more important than the person is actually going to be drawn to you more so. Because, you know, people like to attach themselves to people with ambitions, but people who are out there doing it, people who are out there running to win, they like that. You know, and actually to yield your purpose to a purpose, to yield your purpose to a person, do you know it can actually cause them to lose respect for you? Do you know that? It can actually cause that person to lose respect for you if you put your purpose, if you put them, a person over your purpose. I kid you not. It sounds strange, and some of you may think it's love, and some of you may think think you're doing the right thing. You're not. You're not. You came in this world, you will leave this world alone. You know, you came in alone, and you will leave alone. But you know, but between that time, there's time in between, and every single day, you know, your heart of hearts is knowing, you know, like, I'm not whole. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I don't feel like I'm living up to my potential. You ever ask yourself, you know, you ever have ask yourself and feel in your heart that there's more? I was meant for more. That's your purpose talking to you. I'm agitated by this problem. I don't belong here. That's your purpose talking to you. Yeah, man, there's so much I want to do. I'm sitting at this job right now, but my mind's in Africa. My mind's in South America. My mind is working on a farm or something. I'm not even here, but I'm here. I'm doing work, but my mind is somewhere else. That's your purpose talking to you. That's your purpose saying, hey, you still have time. Fitzgerald, you still have time. Ruby, you still have time. Joseph, you still have time. Let's get about it. Now time is not forever, so let's get up on it. And but here's your problem talking to you. This is the best I'll ever do. Man, you know, all that success is for them. I could never be that. You know, I'm no good. I'm not that smart. I was born in the wrong family. I was born in the right family, but I'm not like my siblings. You know, I expect bad things to happen to me. I hope gosh, I'm feeling sick. Man, gosh, well, I'll never have enough money. That's your problem talking to you. Either one, you're operating in the realm of faith. That's what I want you to understand. You're operating in the realm of faith. You're operating in the realm of faith to manifest your purpose, or you're operating in the realm of faith to manifest your problem. And let me tell you, purpose begets more purpose. Problems begets more problems. And how can you know it? How do you know? How do you know which one you operate in? By the way you speak, by your actions, by your actions. I have heard that sometimes people can tell, really what you believe and what you support in by looking at your checkbook. I mean, what is your checkbook saying? How much do you invest? Because you can't save yourself the wealth. You have to invest. How much money do you spend on books? How much money you spend on going to seminars? How much money do you spend getting around winners and talking to them? How much money do you spend for self-improvement? How much money? What does your money go? If I look at your cabinet, do you have a whole bunch of junk food up there, or you have fresh organic vegetables and food that's good, food that's going to take care of your temple? How much are you using your cell phone for frivolous things? What are you using it to grow? Are your goals written down? Are you fixated on talking about things like the weather, how bad it is, but the virus? Let's do Mary right now, for tomorrow we may die. What if tomorrow you may live, and what if the day after that you may live? How you spend your money tells me a lot of whether you're focusing on a purpose or your problem. Now, you can let off some steam. I'm not talking about that. You can let off some steam and things like that, and that's cool, and that's necessary. But hey, you know what? Don't ever, ever, ever sacrifice your purpose for anyone, including you. Sometimes you're walking in your purpose. You got to learn how to walk alone. You literally have to learn how to walk alone. Do you know there's enough great content creators here on YouTube, that you can actually get motivated, and you can actually get thousands of dollars worth of free audio tapes and free advice just by clicking on the right YouTube channels? That you want to learn how to be a better man, there's channels for that. You want to learn how to be a better woman, there's channels for that. You want to learn how to get your body in better shape, there's channels for that. You want to learn how to grow your finances, there's channels for that. You want to learn how to create a network marketing business or other business, there's channels for that. You're only just putting in the right information in the right form to come up with, get the information that you know. I don't need the 10-1 of Grant Cardone's 10X seminars. He's down in Miami. I'm here in Tampa, about maybe 4 hours away. I don't need to do that, man. I can click on and look at audio streams for that man, or YouTube channels of what he has done, and I can get information from him. I can get information from Brian Tracy. I can get information from Book Alpha Runnery. I can get information from Ron Wills. I can get information for Sonny Luigati. And I can learn how to do these things. I can learn how to be the person I want to be. I can be in Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal, by looking at homes there. I can look at it in the Dominican Republic. I can look in San Juan. I can look at properties in Montreal. I can get an idea of what it would be like, and I can see myself there just by clicking on to the right format. Okay, so that's putting a picture of that in my mind, because that's helping my purpose. You got to strengthen your purpose, and what you talk about grows. I remember when I first was introduced to network marketing back in the early 90s. Man, I wanted to be free. I mean, I didn't really have money, but I wanted a business. I was just tired of working for someone. I just didn't see myself working for someone long term. I saw myself traveling, being able to do things I love to do, things that would give me life. I happen to be one of those guys that like to stay in nice hotel rooms. I like to travel. I like to be able to be restricted, to not be restricted by worrying about money and time. I don't like asking people, can I have permission to go see my parents, or can I have permission to go see a good friend of mine, whether they be in Canada or Connecticut. That's foreign to me. So, I start off with network marketing, and lo and behold, I start building something and creating something that was pretty good. I still still do the same thing now. I have a company that I get paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Two of the top cryptocurrencies out right there. You can click on my website and look at that, and and register your free account to join that. I want to be free. I want to be free, and I'm working far as towards that. What do you want? That's part of my purpose. Because you know what? I have never really been happy sitting around there working for someone else. There's one job I had. The one job I had that I felt like I was really, really happy. No, I'll say two. The first job was when I was an undergrad at the University of Alabama, and I used to work. I had a work study program that I actually used to get paid to work out. My work study program was in the weight room. Man, that was great because I was literally getting paid to do what I love to do. No, and that was an incredible feeling. The second thing that came close to that was when I was working for this software company. I happened to meet a extraordinary individual, Tony Ricciazzi. He was met him up in Niagara Falls, New York, and he was watching my sales pitch, and and I approached him, and the man was charismatic, and he offered this great thing. He told me he's working for this software company. And I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of that. And lo and behold, I waited 2 years. And I finally got in there, and I really, really loved it. I really, really, really enjoyed working for them. So those are about the two things I had. And then I also love teaching kids. I also love teaching Bible studies and entrepreneurship to young adults and stuff. So those are my passion. What I don't love, is doing something I feel I gotta force myself to do. Doing something that I don't feel like my heart in because I got to do it to pay the bills, or you got to do it to pay the bills. How much time are you going to keep working on someone else's purpose before you decide to work on your own purpose? Because make no difference. Your problem to you, you're part of someone else's purpose. It may be a problem to you, but you're part of someone else's purpose. When are you going to really, really start pointing your energies more so to your purpose? When are you going to stop talking about your problem? If the Most High allows, the sun's going to shine. If he decides by his grace to wake us up tomorrow, we're going to get up and breathing. I suggest the first thing you do is thanking for doing that once you do get up. We're going to have the same 24 hours in the day. Down here in Tampa, I can promise you it's going to be hot. It's going to be sunny and all that kind of stuff. You have the exact same amount of time in your day as Elon Musk, Helen Keller, Bill Gates, Sean Combs, Rihanna. You have the exact same amount of time as LeBron James. You have all this time. The difference is, what do you do with it? Now, you may not have their gifts. You may not have their physical gifts, or you may not have their mental gifts, or you don't have. Don't measure yourself by someone else. God gave you a purpose. God put that burning in your heart. And if he put that burning in your heart, and if it's there, as far as for you, he's giving you every single thing that you can that you have to accomplish it. But you have to activate it. You have to put in the work. You have to be about the grind. You can sit up there and say, I think I got a great body. I think I'm muscular. I think I'm rich. I think I'm healthy. But man, if you ain't out there working to make it come to pass, keep your positive affirmation. As a matter of fact, I'd rather you have less affirmations and more massive actions than to have all affirmations and no action at all. No, be about it. Get about it. Your purpose or your problem is decided by two things and two things only. Number one, your thoughts. I'm sorry, three things. Number one, your thoughts. Number two, your words. What are you saying, especially to yourself? And number three, your action. They are three-pronged stools. Your thoughts, your words, your actions. And they don't betray each other. They complement each other. And if you don't have that, you're not serious about what you want. If you don't have that, you don't want your purpose. And to not want your purpose is automatically to default to your problem. And you're not going to like where your problem brings you. You're not going to like what it does to you. But you are going to, when you get around and accomplish your purpose, you're going to like, thank God I have enough courage to get out there and do it. Thank God I didn't quit. Thank God, I got discouraged, but I got back up. I'm going to do, I plan on doing a video in a very soon. And I had this statement for several years. I plan on putting a video. It's going to be called Quit the What? Quit the what? What are you going to quit to? Think about that. I feel like giving up. Give up the what? Quit the what? What's your alternative? Victory or death? Not defeat, death. Because every single day you're not living your purpose, you're dying. You're dying inside. They're just waiting. The funeral just waiting to be caught, just waiting to catch up with you. But you're dying. Every day that you know that you was created for something more. Every day that you know that you was designed to live something more, and you still refuse to do anything, and you're just stuck in something like that, you're dying. But when you embrace your purpose, welcome to life. Ladies and gentlemen, it really is that simple. It really is that simple. It's a decision. It's a decision. Oh, and another very, very important thing to you winners out there. Don't think because you're not in your purpose and fully manifested that you're not walking towards it. Man, you got to learn how to celebrate it. If you're in the warehouse working, you keep an attitude that this is not your resting place. If you're a cashier, if you're a stalker, if you're a driver, if you're doing something you feel is mediocre, it matters as long as you're moving towards your purpose. It matters. So celebrate the little victories, celebrate it and celebrate the fact that you're getting out there and compete. Celebrate the fact that you're being self-sufficient. If you're sleeping on someone's air mattress, be thankful that you got somewhere to sleep. Get out there and work and take advantage of those opportunities and work your butt off. Don't measure yourself by what someone else is doing. Don't measure yourself by what your friends are doing. I happen to be one of those guys. I have a lot of successful friends. A lot of successful friends. And when I talk friends, I'm talking about cats I have been knowing they near 15 to 36 years. Those are guys who I consider my friend. I got to know something about it. You got to have some time in with me. A lot of them are way financially sound and working on their purpose. Now I can get on there and say, well, wow, I'm not really in my goal yet. I'm not living my goal like they're doing. I don't measure myself by them. I don't sit up there and do that to myself. What? Because their purpose is for them, mine is for me. I celebrate what they're doing. I just focus on grinding what I need to do. I stay in my lane, and you must stay in your lane. Get your eyes off of that. Get your eyes off of other people. Get your eyes. Only put your eyes on where you're trying to go. Your purpose is what matters, not the problems. Not the problems. Eliminate and destroy the problems. Eliminate and destroy anything between you and your purpose. Eliminate, excuse, delete anyone who stands in the way of your purpose. And because at the end of the day, it's you that has to look in the mirror. You could tell everyone you're feeling good, but if you're not on your purpose, deep down, that's a lie. And deep down, you're not doing what it takes. Change that. So I'm very, very passionate about this, man, because I see so many people, just wilting inside. You can see them out there. You know what? And you can see them out there in the streets. You can see them at the hot dog stands. You can see them at the airport. And you can look at their eyes, and their eyes are not life. Their eyes are not lighting up. When you talk to them, they don't grab your hand, like with energetic. They don't speak with power. They speak with hesitation. And some of them can be successful. I'm talking some of them be lawyers, doctors, high level executives. They can be that. But that just because you have that title, that doesn't mean it's your purpose. That doesn't mean it's your purpose. Just because you're making a huge lump sum of money, that doesn't mean that's your purpose. Your purpose is not money. It can be a part of your purpose, but it's not that. You don't just get a whole bunch of zeros in your bank account and all of a sudden think you're walking in your purpose. It's people who have 9 figures in their bank account. They're miserable. And it's people who are making $30,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, and they're just as happy and fulfilled. Why? Because they're living their purpose. But I promise you, a man who's living his purpose, a woman who's living his purpose, you're not going to be a low income for long. Sometimes the Most High God is looking to see, are you enjoying the journey? Are you thankful for while you're on the road? Are you thankful for what you have? Are you celebrating the victories? Are you celebrating yourself? When the last time you patted yourself on the back? When the last time you kissed yourself in the mirror? When the last time you said, "Man, you're rocking, you're doing this good"? When the last time you did that? When was the last time you actually went to bed and you know what? I had a very, very good day. When was the last time you did that? Or you just going to bed because it's just a thing to do. I've learned a lot of times how you go to bed is often how you're going to wake up in the morning. I've learned that. You go to bed all restless and stuff and despondent and complaining. Guess what? You're going to get up the same way. You go to bed thankful and calm, at peace, happy, feeling good about yourself, feeling good about life, feeling good about the opportunities. Hey, you know what? That's the way you're going to wake up in the morning. I used to suffer from real bad sleep problems. I mean, man, I was taking stuff. I was listening to anything I could to calm my mind. Finally, I remembered a thing of my faith, and I started listening to songs. I started listening to the Book of Psalms, something to calm my mind down. But I didn't. But still, sometimes that I would get in. It would get in the way. So I had to analyze the problem. And I was a guy who used to stay up 3 o'clock in the morning. Not because I was studying and praying stuff, because I was just up. Now what was I doing with that time? Was I meditating on my purpose? No, I was meditating on my problems. I would sit up here and plug this up and use all these things and hype my head up there and hype myself up and put all this electronic stimulus in my mind. And my youngest brother, you guys have often heard me talk about him and my younger brother. They had to have a talk with me, man. What you're putting in your mind, because I was worried, because in my mind I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I've suffered some catastrophic defeat. A breakup in a marriage and losing my home and had some health challenges, all that things and stuff, and it was just weighing on my mind. I couldn't sleep and all that kind of stuff because of what I was focusing on. And I had forgot certain things. I had forgotten certain triggers I built in my life to cancel that. For number one, I had got to a point where I was spending great times alone, and I wasn't doing anything, and the walls were just closing in on me and everything. And one of my statements to be, I'll say I was fine, but I happen to be around my youngest brother who's known me for 49 years. He knew when I was lying or faking the funk anyway. So he started talking to me and finally started talking to me. And ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very important. When you see someone's really stuck in their problem, don't give up on them. Maybe you're going to have to say it to them more than 1 or 2 times, maybe 20 or 25 times. But I promise you, they're listening. One day you're going to get through. So I started to falter. I had got where I like cigars, man, but I was using them like almost like a chain cigar smoker. Well, that wasn't good, And I had an epiphany. At one moment, I was spending a lot of money. Number two, I didn't used to do this. Okay, number three, I stopped riding my bike. I stopped going for the gym, even though I'm paying the membership. So I said, I remember how I used to feel when I was working out. I remember when the endorphins that used to be released. I remember when I used to go to the parking lots, or when I used to go look at homes. That's how I got my first home. I literally saw it on the internet and drove in the community and meditated. Boom. About 2 or 3 years later, my wife and I had it. Back when we was together, we had it because that's what I focused on. And I started feeling good. And guess what? The headaches went away. And guess what? I started sleeping better. And guess what? I started getting up full of more energy. And guess what? I started learning how to meditate. And guess what? I cut off the news. I've been on the television over 10 years. I cut off a lot of that stuff. I cut off a lot of conversations. And I started coming back online. My health started improving. My mental outlook started improving. My purpose got more clear. You have to know your triggers, ladies and gentlemen. And both the purpose and the problems have triggers. They have triggers, and you have got to know how to activate those triggers. Now, the purpose, it can sometimes you have to work to activate those triggers because you're swimming against the tide of all this negative stuff out there. Your problems, man, you don't have to do anything. You just let your mind run wild, and somebody going to give you a phone call about so and so, or someone's going to put a stupid video up on Facebook or text it to you, and someone fighting or pulling off, or someone's going to send you even a not so stupid video about police brutality, shooting people, or hungry children. You can't meditate on that. You can't meditate. You can't take that into your spirit. Not if you want to win. You got to get out there, man, and go look at the cars. You got to go look at the real estate. You got to look at the travel brochures. You have to write on your wall, I will be 185 pounds by the end of the year. I will have 2% body fat. I will be in a healthy relationship. I will not deal with toxic people, male or female. I will not entertain certain conversations. If that conversation is not helping me grow and go, I have no use for it or the person. You have got to do that. And that decision is going to be hard, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes that's going to matter pay a cost. Sometimes you got to be able to take the criticism. Do you think you're too good for us? Yeah, I do. You because as long as you talking this foolishness to me, I'm allowing you to literally pour poison in my brain. And you ain't right. I am too good for that. You got to have some cojones. You got to have some big cojones or some big ovaries. One of the two. But you're going to have to protect your purpose. You are going to have to protect your purpose if you want to receive it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel passionate about this. Man, I feel passionate about everything I come on talking on Find Ways to Win. Because you know what? The title says all about what I'm about. I like to find ways to win because I always believe there is a way to win. You might necessarily know it, but you can get with some counselors. You can get with some people who have been there, who have done that. And you can take time to respect their time and listen to their counsel. And they can show you the exact same way to do it. I remember one time just recently, I had built, I was in a network marketing company just early as last year. Man, I had built that organization up to 10,000 affiliates. 10,000 affiliates. And I worked in that took years and years of work. And I made a lot of money in it. And I did pretty decent with it. All of a sudden, must be known to be, things went south. The company, all of a sudden, the leadership, was doing real stupid stuff. And I finally had to walk away and leave that. I had to walk away from all that work, all those affiliates. But now I was kind of bummed out about a little bit until I talked to one of my business partner, and he said, "Hey, we got something else going on," and I jumped back in and I started building again. And that's when I discovered a company, GS Partners, getting paid in Ethereum and Bitcoin, and to move the G99 cryptocurrency over our own blockchain. Once again, you can register for free for that, and shoot me an email, and I will will contact you. My email is findwaystowin@gmail.com. Find ways to win, the number 2 fitzgeraldstevens@gmail.com, or you can contact me at fitzgeraldstevens@gmail.com. And I just went back to work. Why did I go back to work? Why did I go back to work, King Joseph? Because I didn't have anything to quit to. My purpose was still to be able to travel, to still be able to have a home, maybe down in Latin America, maybe some country in Africa, to still be able to travel, still be able to sit on the shore, to still be able to control my time. That ain't changed. Now the goal, the vehicle that changed, but you better believe I found another vehicle. Hey, you know what? Car breakdown with me, I either fix it or replace it. But I know I need that vehicle in order to get to my purpose, in order to get to my destination. You know, if it doesn't work out with relationships, you know, and we have to go separate, okay, that's fine. There's billions of other people out there, billions of other people, you know, male, female. So why are you going to get hung up on one if that's what you want? Or you could take the avenue what I did. You know what? Let me back up upon and work on myself, because I've been spending too much time with other people and not enough time on my purpose. Remember, I said that if you put your purpose before a person, you're going to lose both. I guarantee you. If you put your purpose, if you put a person before your purpose, you will lose both. Because I can promise you, the reason that person was attracted to you in the first place, because you were on your purpose. If you give them that, they won't respect you anymore, because you lost the thing that drew them to you in the first place. Just a little relationship advice for you that I've lived. And so this is Fitzgerald Stevens, your host for Find Ways to Win. Hey, I'm asking you guys to please hit that subscribe button and that like button. I am trying to grow this channel. My goal is to grow this channel one day to a million subscribers. And I believe I'm going to get there, but I need your help to do it. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you very much for your support. Enjoy your evening. Remember, how you go to bed tonight is an often indicator how you're going to wake up. So go to bed in peace. Go to bed in power. You know, let your energy be sleep. You know what? This electronic device right here, literally take this to another room and just plug it in. Don't keep it by your bed. Even if you use it for alarm clock like I do, no, just go ahead and keep it in another room. No, don't put it by there. Just because that'll prevent you from reaching for it, you know, when you do wake up in the morning. Okay. And so we appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, God bless you all. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your support.